back in business with your second map. Mirage went the way of Mousesports despite a heroic performance from Config. Optic Gaming fall and now take it to Nuke. Our machine, he's Henry G, and we've got ourselves map 2 of our first series of our third day here at the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters in Malmö.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
It sounded good.
Didn't it? I felt like I sold it. Malmö.
Well, we do have Nuke coming up next, and this is where Optic really need to deliver. They were unable to against Na'Vi yesterday, even though they got 8 rounds on their T side. That's pretty unheard of, especially for a strategic team that's well versed on Nuke. It was their pick as well. Didn't deliver the goods yesterday, but hopefully they can stick to landing today, take us to a third. It will be a T side start though for Optic, and that's where they thrive, but it's the CT forces where they start to struggle somewhat, it seems. And we do need to see some of the key players come online. Nico, 7 kills and 23 deaths I think he's finished on. Really not good enough for a player of his caliber. And MSL's AWP looks streaky at best.
Yeah, and there he is on your screens as well. Needs to step it up into Optic's map pick. And struggle actually is applicable when discussing Mousesports Nuke as well. Over at V4, they were eliminated from a combination, a knockout punch from Tricked, in fact. And they said that they underestimated a lot of their opponents in attendance at the V4 Future Sports Festival, I believe is the full name, but it was Nuke where they fell to Tricked 16-14, and they're not going to make that same mistake again. In the tail end of Frozen's interview recently, he said that that's not a mistake they intend to ever make again. Underestimating your opponent is something that I think every team, or at least the majority of players, undergoes and learns from. The underdog stories, of course, are rife here in Malmö. The fact that Liquid now find themselves at a deficit as well on the B stream is testament to that.
Yeah, an odd tournament so far. Lots of strange results coming through. It was Liquid giving up their first map. They go into Nuke as well right now against Greyhound, so look out for that. They've got the same map pool as us, actually. As we'll kick things off, we will see Optic on the T side, of course. It's their pick. They've got 2 Molotovs, and they have been well-versed and get themselves down towards those vents. We'll see if that's the same approach here. It was very difficult to contain them towards that position yesterday. They've got an HE for the door. Molotov potentially towards the main entrance, but sending 2 players towards the ramp. We'll see what they can do with it. It's going to be an opening shot from Robs here. Doesn't connect and decides to fall back. Wise and informed decision.
Yeah, they are still going to be accelerating though, and Robs can have all the sound cues he wants to know that they were at least thinking about it. Karrigan's response, look at this is interesting.
Oh, they've taken the bait.
Completely and totally. Hook, line, and sinker. Chris J. He's gobbled that bait up for breakfast, puts Frozen in real difficult position. He can't really contest, and Karrigan just feeds himself. 2 Danes poised by Vents, puts Optic Gaming in prime position to convert this round, leaves just 3. 2 of them coming from the outside area towards main. Nice catch from Tessus, puts Moxic next on the chopping block, and he presents his head, and this round is over. Wow. Nice call from Optic Gaming, an interesting turnaround. They really did just eat that bait up.
Yeah, went towards that ramp. Managed to push Robs down, didn't get the early frag, but certainly got presence, managing to smoke towards lower. It caused so much rotation. It was such a convincing fake there. And then high-tailing towards the upper bomb side, catching all the rotating players coming up the vents as well. Perfect positioning from Optic. That's much more like it. 5 players surviving here. They'll have plenty of money going forward. And will we see the force buy from Mousesports in the second? A lot of teams opting for it these days on the CT side of Nuke. We'll see if they're that way inclined. Rob saves his armor, so they might be persuaded to do so. Scouts purchase, that will confirm things. They are going to get CZ's armor, Deagles. Chris J following things up with Desert Eagle himself. We're getting to round number 2 here. And in terms of the setups, it'll be 3 SMGs for Optic, focusing more on that utility. Cajun B and Tessus with the AK-47s, and they send 4 players towards the lobby.
Whether or not they'll commit off this one remains to be seen, but yeah, charging in. And no initial contact, no ROPs to be seen this time, instead descending. More passive hold from him than aid could be good, and it is. Takes Cajun and Config down, softens them up for the scouts and the Deagles in play.
Yeah, this is looking very good in terms of the lower push coming through. Scout damage done, and Voxel will finish things off with the P2000. Still a decent chance here. The CZ actually delivering on its promise, and now the Mac tends to hold things off. There needs to be the double kill to confirm the round. It's not going to happen. Mousesports on the force buy actually made that one work. It was looking so good for Optic. Straight down towards lower, through the ramp room. That's happening.
That's the Karrigan Banshee wail, the war cry. It's how you let them know that you're back in the server and back into the game very quickly.
I love it. 2 AKs picked up for Mousesports here. They recover the strong weaponry from that T push towards ramp. Very fast approach towards lower. Doesn't work out for them. They still will buy into the round, considering they had 5 players survive in the pistol. 2 rifles themselves, one of which is the Krieg. Nico, one of the players to hold them. He'll be joined by MSL. 3 Deagles with them. Smokes towards outside as they try and push towards Secret. They're very good at getting in the key positions on this map. You can see why they picked it. A lot of practice gone into it, but need to start delivering on the individual performances here.
Yeah, it's a cool call as well. Throwing the smoke wall and then just boosting over the top of it, procedurally clearing. 2 rifles in play. Woxic, he got here early, and it could very well pay dividends late. MSL presents himself. He didn't have the trigger discipline, but it doesn't seem to matter. Testis won't even be allowed to use the AK he picked up. Config's the only one to find consolation. Just leaves Cajun in towards lobby. Desert Eagle. And bullets between the eyes. It's Chris J to find the second for Mousesports, but a lot of great work across the map, really. You have to give Optic some credit. It was a nice idea, just no early frags presenting themselves.
Well, there we have it. It should be the full eco now for Optic. They win the pistol, but still find themselves in a problematic spot. Glocks only for round number 4, the looks of things. Not a single dollar brought into round 4 here. Mousesports off to a flyer.
Same way the Mirage started as well.
Yeah, exactly. Incendiary towards the squeaky door as per tradition.
Excuse me.
You have got a cough button.
I know.
Next time.
I thought I could get away with it. Quick one from Glocks, and it does look like this round is going to be a bit of a massacre. Carrigan frozen, but hang on. The primary objective of this one, the dream outcome.
Didn't go for the
Config changed his mind. He wants to go Glocks into helmet. He could have had a shot at that one at least, perhaps tucking himself in behind the silo.
Considering those fast rotations, I think he was done for anyway. But the burst fire, it only really works out in the pistol rounds that they have no helmets. You'll do very well to make that. Find a quick kill with 100 HP in front of you. 3-1. Rifles coming out once again. Galil for Testis. Everyone, 2 frags on the Optic side. No AWP yet. Voxic or Chris J. We'll see how this one develops. Incendiaries deployed. Agent B looking to gain access towards the vent potentially. He's waiting for the CT Incendiary to come through, and Frozen's just chasing him down the vent here. Oh, that's such smart play. The fact he gets down there silently behind him as well, he knew exactly what was going on, but Cajun B checks his flank and manages to get that first kill.
Can't believe Cajun checked that. I don't think a sound cue was presented by Frozen. I think that's just intuition.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
I love the idea. Don't see that every day. Now Woxic will have smokes arriving outside. Is he going to try and get on the other side of them? This is ballsy. You'll hear the step, try and get the timing right. In the meantime, Chris J's lobby push works out wonderfully. Woxic, he is full grey screen at this point, just trying to piece together where they're coming from. And for now, Chris J, what? He gets 2. Rop's holding the line, and just one more to find. MSL can get a plant out of this. Looks like a possible 1 versus 2. He's already got the first. 2 more to find. And walks straight into Woxic's line. There you go. Another for Mousesports here on the CT side.
Really strong stuff from Chris J, delivering once again with the multi-frags. That's where he always seems to thrive. When they're down and out, he finds 2 kills out of nowhere. Clinical headshots presented towards the main entrance position. Let's see it from his POV. That was the initial kill from Chris, and then rotates towards his outside position. They line up for him. Oh, they absolutely did. He didn't have to move the crosshair. And
this is when analysts talk about spacing. Perhaps now's a good time for a definition of good spacing.
That was like, it wasn't too bad, but the fact they just walked right into each other's line at that point, it just made it very easy for him. Yeah, they could have been a little bit more segregated. They were trying to trade things out. That was absolutely fine, but certainly not ideal. They did make it a little bit too easy for him overall. They tried to go towards outside once again. We'll have to beat the flames. MSL, and Cajun B taking a little bit of damage there, a lot towards Nico, down to 13. But they have managed to gain access towards lower. This could be a quick plant here. We'll see if it's possible as MSL tries to swarm towards the ramp position.
And Chris J, cognizant that the bomb is going to be hunting down. And oh my god, wow. Chris J with a multi-frags. He's not done.
What?
On for the ace. 4 quick frags from Chris J's Krieg. He's found himself, I think, hang on, quick math. 4 plus 3. I've got it.
Go for it.
You ready?
Yeah.
7.
No.
Damn. 5, 6, 7.
Just to confirm, it's a 5 versus 1.
7 frags in 2 rounds, Henry. Could be 8.
Could be. And it's not. And will be Robs to close things out with the AUG. But that was just fantastic from Chris J. It looked like he was out of position. They were swarming towards him. They kept pushing towards the actual ramp itself. He wouldn't have had time to take everyone down. They chose to run straight in front of him, and then they got a little bit confused as to where he was. Communication a bit off there for Optic, but it was a very chaotic situation for sure. Round 7. They have to win this map. Optic take us to a 3rd. That's not looking likely at this stage. All power for Voxic this time. They're going to be getting stronger and stronger as the money and maximum loss bonus. Optic haven't really had a plan for a while. We'll see what they can do here.
They've been getting to the site.
Yeah.
But for now, they've had repeated frights. Outside posturing, nothing more. Resmoke perhaps coming out from Config and MSL. And a third from Spawn. Likely from Nico as he joins them on their advance. He still has his, so that's a lie. But rinse repeat. They are getting that outside control. This time they are behind the guys of the smoke, and Frozen's in a prime position to at least have one. He doesn't necessarily have the crossfire established for a multi-kill here, but he can get 1 and 4 back. Or if he's feeling brave, if they miss their shots, no utility used to block him off, he'll have a real shot at this. Config the first one, makes sense. Such a great mirage from him. Frozen gets the first, and now he can fall back. Did some additional damage to Config, and that could come back later. As it's Config first out on the site, you can hear him, finds him, and Frozen. He's taking a leaf out of Chris J's book, this time against the fall buy. Multi-kills are plenty for Mousesports. They'll even scavenge away some weapon upgrades. Now more Krieg and AK action for the CT side.
Optic just can't get going here at all. They're not really making a dent on these rounds. Once again, trying their luck towards lower, but everything falling apart very quickly. The crossfire of Doomstead out between Frozen and his Krieg will seem to single-handedly maul the T offense here. MSL can feel this tournament slipping away from them. The former DreamHack Masters Stockholm MVP and champion not looking his best here. No one really posting anything on the T side. At the very top end after 7 rounds of play, 3 frags for KGB and MSL, 2-1-2 for the other 3.
Every time they try outside, they take such a beating. Round prior, it was, of course, the early damage through the smoke. This time it was Frozen down lower. Before they can even start their campaign towards the site itself, there's so much resistance. Rugger, I think his face is rather telling. Pure concentration and getting that thinking cap on.
Well, there's the pause. It doesn't seem like he's saying much.
No. It didn't look like many mouths were moving. In fact, perhaps it was just an opportunity just to reset. Fast nades outside. Woxic's response is a Molotov of his own. It does slow them down. They're going to have to take somewhat of a tick of damage. It's not too much, though. Rather minimal as they continue to rinse and repeat. Straight back down lower.
They love this lower bomb site, don't they? And it's going to be Voxy to open things up. He gets that from heaven. And once again, Chris J ready and waiting towards lower. They really are trying to make this bomb site work for themselves. Decent crossfire. Chris J on the railings, Robs from the ramp room. Their point of access seems to be the window. They've shot them out. Molotov deployed, pretty decent to take Robs out of position, but he still has control somewhat. Chris J surely going to go down here. Finally, an access point. 3 versus 2, but the bomb can be planted at this stage.
Opt for the open plant, given the time they've managed to buy for themselves. Carrigan, however, considering opening that door and didn't get the bomb down. That's interesting. That could really be a problem now. Cajun, however, will be able to get it down. Oh, Woxic, he couldn't see much, but it's enough. Takes the nose off of Config, and now Mousesports will be comfortably securing their 7th on that retake. 3 versus 2, but it's a quick flurry of frags. Woxic with the opener and the close.
Scavenging everything they absolutely can. The Vultures will find grenades, Kriegs, and AKs. And it will be 7 on the board now for Mousesports. They won the pistol Optic, a flying start. You'd think that would be at least converted, but no, the force behind the CT side has led Mousesports to this very advantageous position. The analyst did say 2-0 was likely. Voxic, he was gifted a kill here. Like he said, could just about see the head of Config there. Was not a wallbang. Could just see his forehead and managed to take it clean off. It's going to be a decent spawn for KGB. Does like to get down the vents. They need to start trying to find some form here. They do get the bomb plant, so another buy available.
Something a bit different. Fast flash and a drop from Cajun. You talk about his spawn. Well, he's tried to rush straight down. Does he have the bomb on his back? No. He doesn't.
That's in T-spawn right now.
Chris J trying to get the timing right. There is a knife out for Tess. There's a knife out for Config. My goodness, a stray bullet doesn't connect, and Chris J, he's counted the steps, he's exposed the backs and eliminated 2.
The flashbang as well.
That's so hard to watch if you're an Optic Gaming fan.
Yeah, he's got the bomb in front of him as well. Oh, the grenade is brutal. Not getting any easier, I'll say that much.
On this angle from Woxic, Tessus is going to expose himself. Unbeknownst to him, the tip of his head likely to show before he gets the angle he was expecting.
Yeah, he's going to have no idea that Voxic's here. It's a difficult shot for him to hit, but he is playing out of his mind right now. 3 versus 2. A slight chance here for Optic, but still looking Very difficult indeed with the bomb in the position it is. They do have time to work with here, but not for long. Frozen, looking clinical as ever. MSL will have to try and recover the bomb and retreat. Detected and taken down. Chris J, such a smart play. They're so patient.
1, 2,
yeah, he counted
3,
4 in the end before he struck, and then of course he takes down the bomb carrier, and it all falls apart for Optic. It looked like it was going to be pretty decent considering Cajun got down the vent. It was going to cause a rotation, but this play was just magnificent.
Chased by some utility as well to lock off the rest, a nade landing on Tessus before he could even think about the trade. Oh, and it hurts. It hurts so much. Optic Gaming, this is their map pick, and I think MSL, yeah, that's a nice embodiment of how he's feeling right now.
Yeah, really kind of personifies it all. We'll see if this is where they come online.
Wow, look at that money, man.
Yeah, they've got enough to buy here. That's the problem. It's enough, but it's not going to be the full. They're not going to have everything they need. Nikas have to go for the Galil. He's 1 in 8 again. This has got to be one of the slowest performances he's had in some time. It's not a good day in the office for him.
Yeah, if you check his event rating, I'll be very interested to see how this compares to his recent events with Optic Gaming. Of course, we did see them very recently over in I believe it was New York.
Well, Khalil's 4 AKs, no Kriegs this time. Bones utility and bomb will be recovered in T-spawn by Tessus. They need to post at least 3-4 rounds to stand a chance here. 1 will not do, that's for sure. 1 minute 30 early on in the round here. Rob's actually getting towards Secret. Cajun sneaking out towards Squeaky once again.
Chris J on the rafters. Be able to catch a glimpse of the... Oh, they see each other. Cajun quick on the trigger. He can retreat. He has that freedom now, but instead his teammates are going to join him. Utility thrown towards main. It's onto Frozen. Gets the first. The bullets from Nico will do nothing, but Config quick to open up the top site, and Tessus will confirm that this round should be Optics. Just Woxic. A hard flick, but he connects. Wow, Config eliminated. Now he wants to re-aggress. Finds a gap in the smoke to extinguish the molly. Another from Woxic. On for the 1v4. He's descending. Surely not. Close quarters. He had a shot onto Tessus. Newest addition to Optic saves them from a very embarrassing defeat.
Yeah, that could have been a collateral no-scope. Can you imagine if that connects?
Jesus.
That would have been insane. Great effort there by Woxic. What a fantastic player he is. Look at the confidence as well. He knows exactly what he has to do. You can see the full process going through his head. He drops down, trying to get the quick scope to connect. That could have been a lineup.
They really did give him a real shot at that one. I mean, he took it, actually. They didn't give it to him. He took that one with force. And with his high sensitivity, I mean, you can see he was basically holding both sides of that bomb set at the same time. A quick flick secured another frag before he got caught by Tessus. But outside, a real threat. You better hope your smokes are good. That's the flash high into the sky and a second deeper. Oh, and MSL caught with utility in his hands as they prepared for the outside take. Woxic, he's cut them down to size before they could even start their walk, start their leisurely stroll. Another option presents itself, and it was Config. I say past tense because he's likely to be eliminated, even though he throws the flash. Woxic has outside on lock.
Oh, it's just an absolute nightmare here for Optic. They have 1 successful clean round, and it all starts to fall apart. Looks like a clean sweep here. It absolutely is. Couldn't get better than that from Mousesports. They go 9-2, no bomb planted. They're losing 1 stage of loss bonus, then they'll get $2,900 per player now. Cajun B at $3,000. Nico, $3,600, still on 1 frag. And they do have a buy there, but it'll be a tactical timeout for sure. This is a rough one.
Have I ever told you that there's something about Chris J that makes me uncomfortable?
Go on. I like where this is heading.
He games with a hoodie on.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It makes me feel hot looking at it.
Yeah, you just... it says something about you. I don't know what it's saying, but that's crazy talk to me. Long sleeves, perhaps even a thick material. He's a madman. He's a maverick.
Well, maybe he likes to be cozy, you know?
Can you game in a hoodie? Tweet us. Let us know.
Not if you're as sweaty as me. I definitely can't.
I mean...
I like to go topless, usually.
As someone that's recently, started to game in the same room as you, I've noticed.
Yeah. I go topless gaming, you know? Yeah. And it's fine. Everyone's okay with it.
Hoodie
There's a bit of a vibe in the room.
If you had to choose.
I can see you looking at me in the corner of your eye sometimes, and that's fine.
You've got a big eagle on your chest, Henry. It's hard not to.
I thought you said big ego. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I've got you there.
We're going to go for just the Eagles here, and we'll see 1 smoke, armor, 9-2. They've won the pistol as well, remember. That's Really not good enough at this stage on your map pick, especially when it's the semi-final, the lower bracket. Everything's on the line, and they'll be so disappointed if this is what they put forward and they crash out like this.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a last-ditch attempt, a half investment, and already early first blood. Here we go, top site take, a bit of a different look from Optic Gaming. Bomb can go down, Nico is the one with the M4 as well as that bomb plant, and he has to go big for his squad here.
Flash coming in from CT spawn. Voxic will be a little bit later than his teammates, but the flash will come through and Rops will have to strike and look for 2 kills very quickly indeed. Here
so Christie throws first. He wants eyes on him. Now the flash comes in from heaven. A second perhaps as well behind Rops. That was what he was waiting for. Christie a little slow though, and they're running out of time. Nico, make sure they're running out of players. A good connection with the M4. We talked about it. Now they're going to retreat. That will be another for Optic Gaming. You said 1 wasn't enough, but 3 posted now for the Danes. It's going to be something for them to work with.
Yeah, they desperately needed that round to come in their favor. Desert Eagles and 5 players entering towards the upper bomb side through Squeaky, and Hart managed to trade things out as Carrigan tucked behind the hut boxes there, caught with a flashbang out. Pre-fired, very common position. And it will be 9-3. Money's still going to be very strong for Mousesports, of course. Chris J still on $13,000, Voxic 10,000, and Robs with 8K himself. So they've got a couple of buys left. I doubt they have to eco his. I don't see them losing every single round. Going forward, cash now quite rich for Optic, considering they just won one of their partial buys. Got a couple of buys in reserve with the loss bonus too. Nico looking for the aggression towards the ram. Not going to get it, but it will be the AWP this time of Chris J towards the ramp. Double orb setup.
T-side of Nuke. You can feel so overwhelming.
Oh,
that doesn't look like an intentional smoke.
Yeah, that couldn't be...
Oh, they're going to have to scrap it.
Couldn't be in a worse position, to be honest. It's essentially off the map. I don't even know how that happened.
That's just a twist of the knife.
If I'm the in-game leader, I'm losing my mind at this point. So we're already struggling, and now this is what we're doing.
I can't even make the outside call.
We've wasted 3 smokes now. Like, we can't use those because the gap there, they know we haven't gone down, regardless if we send one or not.
Yeah, I mean, even if their plan was to play in front of them or go elsewhere, all of it scrapped now, and a change of plan. Chris J poised. 50 seconds, he throws himself the Molotov and see if that will change Optic's call. They've got Nico responsible for any aggression from the lobby, and Chris J still holding the line with that AWP. Oh, he falls off. And now they push. The timing's great, but still finds the frag. Now he has the support of Rops, and it's worked wonderfully for Mousesports.
Even when he knows he's got the timings a little bit off there, Chris is just so calm in his key position. Voxic will be taken down. A trade from Config. That's pretty much all he can do with this round. 4 versus 1 with no time. Rops defending his AWP valiantly as they find double digits here. As we mentioned, the Deagle victory will stabilize their economy. They'll have another buy here, but they really are running out of time in terms of the rounds. Winning the pistol and only getting 1 gun round and a Deagle follow-up, it's just really not good enough, really. Remember, against Na'Vi, they got 8 rounds on their T side. It's their CT side that was weak. Oh, this does not bode well.
You're painting a very bleak picture, but you are bang on. We were praising Na'Vi for the way that they were overcoming the second half. Oh, wow, Voxic.
He's so fast. Sensitivity and...
Yeah, I'd have him up there with Cirque in terms of one of my favorite AWPers to watch at the moment.
Yeah. Very flashy, very precise and confident in his own ability. You can see those assertive plays. He knows what's coming towards him. He always is able to adjust, even if the crosshair is slightly off.
Top 3 in terms of entertainment value, as well as
yeah, he's an explosive.
Prominent AWPing. Yeah, Voxic, Cirque, and I'm going to throw a curveball of extra power from Ford.
Household name.
Nice work, Voxic onto MSL. He's done the hard work. That's 2 early frags, and now it's down to his teammates to finish it off, but that's the chance. Config onto Carrigan now keeps things level. They do want to advance this top side, and if Frozen gets this timing right, he can exploit. It's often overlooked. Instead, they've descended the site, and Rops is already perfectly poised for that one. Unfortunately, he wasn't ready for a second, and that enables him to have a great deal of a chance here. Hang on, where's the bomb? Still hasn't been picked up by Config, and now he's been naded down. Nico, wrong place, wrong time, and the wrong outcome for Optic fans. There's another one on the board for Mousesports.
It's not looking good. It's not a very competitive game, I'm afraid, on the map pick of Optic. They are getting absolutely ran over. It's a very difficult final round as well. We said the money would be there for the buys to follow things up, but not for round number 15. 2 Deagles purchased. Make it 3. A couple of AKs as well. They managed to make it work with Deagles before when they just threw caution towards the wind.
And testament to just how little resistance has been posted is just looking at some of the deaths on Mousesports. 4, 5,
Oh,
4,
that nade.
5, and oh, nice work. Woxic no longer alive. They have that outside control and they just stand there. We'll smoke off main and start to present the threat of a potential presence towards CT spawn, excuse me. Cajun will get caught out on the retreat.
That was his chance. Just about saw the head through the smoke. He was the only player at 100 HP. Speaking of 100, that's about what that grenade did outside. Foxy didn't find a kill, but he certainly set up some one-tap potential for the M4s and Kriegs. We'll see now Carrigan in a prime position to get a couple of frags here. Bomb down. Oh, it's working in tandem. Beautiful stuff, Alex.
Yeah, everywhere Optic go, there's more than one CT, and more often than not, it's a multi-kill or a trade at the bare minimum. Frozen will confirm the half. 12-3. Frankie, what on earth is going on down there? Optic Gaming got face in hands.
They do indeed. MSL is just scratching his chin and consulting with this team and just trying to work out if they can actually stop Mouse from getting the mere 4 rounds they need. In fact, just 3 rounds that they need to get through to their final best of 3 tonight. It's not looking good for Optic Gaming. Meanwhile, Mouse, well, to quote what they just said at the end of that round, nice. We'll see you after the break.
Map 2 of our first series of our third day live from the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö. 12 rounds on their CT side on Optic's map pick puts Mousesports within grabbing distance of a knockout blow to the Danes, close to home soil,
yes.
But at the moment, little lost.
Absolutely true. If they win this pistol on the T side, it's pretty much GG. Testis will be challenged towards the ramp and brave to stay here. His teammate Cajun B set up for the crossfire, but it doesn't work out at all. They're trying to find both the kills here. They're going to get it. 5 versus 3, and Robs with the rotation kill as well. That's absolutely massive. There will be one more towards upper. That's MSL, but he gives up his position now. They know he's towards upper, and Config alone in the lower bomb site, and will be planted no problem here by the looks of things as they hold towards the double doors. Config in a position to get at least one, but he'll surely be traded out. He's not even going to get that guaranteed pistol at this stage. MSL with 100 HP, sure, but no positional control. He's going to think that shadow position has 1 player there, but he's going to get more than he bargained for, and it's a bullet to the face.
Yeah, don't even have to use the bait and switch when things are going as well as that. And if anyone's wondering what happens next if we do lose Optic Gaming, they will be playing, Mousesports that is, will be playing the winner of Liquid Greyhound, which is into its 2nd map now and staying close.
On Nuke as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, on Nuke, and it was a 7-8 half. We saw Greyhound get 8 T rounds against Liquid on their defense.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not bad. Keep your eyes on that one. But that's the opponent for what looks to be Mousesports at this point in time. We'll see if Optic can change that stance.
The Eagles, a scout and a shotgun. Have got armor, need to find opening kills here. If possible, that's not bad from MSL, but the trade actually does lead them to an advantage. Nico will take 1, and the 4 spies on CT side Nuke seem to be working out more and more these days. Faster approaches presented more often than not on the T side, and usually find themselves in a difficult spot here. Config might just do that as well, because he's going to be swinging around with the Mag 7. Decides to fall back.
He hears Frozen up for a fresh mag, and that's enough of a warning sign for him to not take such an aggressive hold, and Rob's firing a shot to disguise his descent. Mousesports, they are making it clear they're in no rush. They know they have the weapon advantage. They have limited utility, just the smoke grenade, and so let's see how this one plays out. Config, oh, this could be so brutal if he gets it right. Just the tag, though, finishes off Chris J. Nico tagged him up earlier, and he's not done there. Config almost single-handedly has won the round for Optic on the 2nd force.
Yeah, they absolutely needed this. Mousesports will be halted. 3 versus 1 for Robs. If he had 100 HP, I'd say he'd have a chance, but just 1 bullet touching him at this stage will win the round for Optic. It's unlikely he gets the plant out of this one, but we'll see whether there's any frags available. Time draining at this stage. There is a player towards the vents. He's not aware of it, hoping for a reposition of the CTs here. Just investigating every single angle of approach.
Here's one above it. And we'll break the glass, see if that can draw Cajun B out. Tidy hole, it works. 12 seconds though, Rops, he's even considering a top site, changes his mind, 8 seconds. He's running out of options. Back turn, missed shots, 5 seconds. He has to start punching in the digits now. It is safe, and he will be pushed by a low HP. Nico, fortunately for Optic Gaming, Testis will find that, because I had a weird feeling. I had a tingle in my dingle. That was about to be the 1v3.
That was a very good effort from Rob. The fact he gets the plant down there and a frag, even had a chance to get the follow-up as well. If he gets that kill towards the decon door, he actually probably wins it because he knew exactly who the last player was. Config saving the day with the Mag 7. It's a lifeline for Optic, but presumably the force buy comes into this round. $3,000 for Chris J, but looks like they will take the eco here with P250. Going to have one smoke, no HE, so we'll see where they want to finish up here. Smoke already deployed towards outside to try and gain them access. Good nade.
Yeah, great nade. Followed up by some outside aggression from MSL. It should just be an easy lineup. Already 3 gone. Rops' P250, however, proves too much for Nico.
Planted lower potentially.
Oh my goodness, you're not wrong. I think the nade's not enough. Down to 8 and he gets it in.
Okay, well, they'll take that all day long. That was all about getting the bomb planted. If you do manage to do that, it's an extra $800 per player. And that means they're going to have a very strong buy going forward. They didn't want to try and steal the round away. Just wanted to finish things off quickly with the full purchase going forward. They're going to need 3 rounds in a row here. Make it clean. See whether they can do it with the Kriegs pretty much across the board. Just Carragher with the AK-47.
Interested to see what Mousesports choose to do with this round. You saw them concede early, so we haven't really seen a full take. Always had to operate from the mid-round with a disadvantage. That's all we've seen from their T-side so far, other than the eco. So let's breathe it in. And a breath will be taken by Mousesports as they do just hold out in that default 2 with the bomb. Alongside Frozen on Stylos are leaning outside. Frozen outside them, and it will be Rops responsible for ramp. The air laden with smokes and Molotovs as the one goes towards Secret to clear out that close corner. Still not making it clear where they're coming from. Utilities flying on both different sides of the map. Still no blood drawn.
Yeah, 1 player down towards Secret. That's going to be Frozen. Actually gone focused towards the garage. No one there for now. It's going to hold up. 45 seconds coming through. They've pushed Tess's back at the ramp room as well. Frozen will find Nico. Opening frag obtained. And now, where do they finish things up? MSL towards the heaven position with the AWP. All about timings here.
Saw a great clip on Reddit of them run boosting on that to AWP it from the other side of that warehouse. And MSL is going to get caught out regardless. It's Chris J. Carrigan on the push is dealt with by Config. They have the setup on the top site. They had the setup on the top site because here they arrive. Rops, he's done enough. They had the presence from heaven should he needed a trade. Instead, it will be 14 for Mouse. Well handled and a step closer to eliminating Optic Gaming here in Sweden, day 3.
Yeah, perfect approach there from Mousesports. They couldn't have done that better. Outside smokes the cause of rotation. He'll be Frozen to get himself towards the garage, got the opening pick towards the main entrance. Managed to get ramp room, push Tess's back, and that's going to cause a player to drop down the fence, absolutely. He's doing a great job to stay alive at this stage, but the round will fall away from them. It's going to be 14-5. No way he can go for this one, unfortunately for him. Frozen watching from the garage here. Tess's can only hold on to his AK, and that's valuable considering the position they'll be in next round.
Have yet to see him become the hero for Optic Gaming. Mid-table fragger. Admittedly, he's alongside someone who has been nothing but consistent for Optic Gaming. It's Cajun B, who's been feeling the brunt of Mousesports' firepower here on the second map. 2 away from survival, meeting Liquid or Greyhound. Game still going on, 11-10. They are inseparable on the B stream.
M4s, an MP9 and the AK-47, 1 away from series points, and Rops will wait for the aggression towards the ramp room, takes a flashbang to the face. Just the MP9 towards that ramp position. Testis will be falling back once again by looks of things, repositions. Really not an ideal weapon for ramp. Trying to hold it off with utility the best he can. Speculative shots for Rops there, 20 frags to his name. There's Nico taking damage once again towards main entrance.
Tessus gave his save rifle to Nico, who's been really struggling.
Yeah, that's a good point. 5 and 15.
Similar scoreline posted on Mirage.
Shows you how selfless Tessus is. He's certainly the support player. He's the anchor towards B on Mirage.
Yeah.
Playing ramp room on Nuke. Those are some of the most difficult positions to play and the least rewarding at times. And still gives his weapon up, even though he's probably having a stronger performance individually than Nico. Frozen wins out the first duel. Tessa still has a Desert Eagle, probably why he gave over the AK.
And Nico's AK that was gifted to him by Tessus has managed to get them the trade they needed. Config, the timing just enables him to escape. Smoke was fading, Flash arrives, and now so do Mousesports towards that top site. 30 seconds. The setup's good. Config responsible for Squeaky. Cajun on top of Hut, but they're changing their mind. They're going to make no secret of this, though, stomping like elephants towards the lower site.
This is a huge moment. If Optic can hold on to this one, they'll manage to avoid series points to keep their money strong. MP9 in hand, it works out for one. It's looking quite good at this stage, but 10 seconds remaining. Nico, he needs to find at least the frag here. He's going to get it. Bomb to be planted, but not for long. It's going to be another round on the board for Optic. They do hold on. That was a must-win round, and Mousesports a little bit slower in that one. We'll have to take a force buy or a full eco. I'd say with $5,000 on Chris J, they probably take the ecos. He can drop a weapon next round. So much work to be done on the Optic side, but keeping their head above water for now. Deagles purchased. Round 21 coming up.
It's not insurmountable, especially given the map and the side, but given the gameplay, it could end at any moment. Deagles, P250s, this doesn't seem like a recipe for success for Mouse. All positioned outside, admittedly, and Nico, he has to get more than one here. Multi-kill's necessary, and he does do just that. Finds the head of Frozen before Kerrigan gets to him. Tight line, Cajun profits. The rest should just be as easy as that. Leaves Chris J. He does have Kevlar alongside that M4, and he's been thrust into a 1 versus 2. And that's brilliant, catches Tessus, and now it's all on to Optic. He saves Optic, but my goodness, by the skin of their teeth, they hold on.
That's kind of insane, the fact that he almost actually won that round. It comes right down to the 1 versus 1. He actually had the information on the last player as well. Might be another Deagle round here for Mousesports. Maybe invested a little bit too much there. And indeed, we'll have a CZ for Kerrigan. 1 AK for Chris, had a bit more cash. Okay, keep it trying to apply that pressure. Got very close to just the Deagles there. They've got a rifle in hand now. Nading out the doors, flashing towards the main entrance. Chris J going to try and get down the vents at this stage. Takes a lot of damage, down to 10 points of health.
Whew. He was the one that bought the AK as well. He felt like he had to make a play, but now very difficult to find that AK in a prime position. There's a huge gap in the smoke. Kerrigan's shadow does reveal himself, tries to use it to bait, and it works perfectly. Nico, he had every advantage given to him, and he still falls.
Kerrigan knows about that shadow. You could see him trying to bait it out at that point. Impressive stuff. Tess is now trying to hold on to this one. Chris J can't really make a play. He's hoping for mistakes on the CT side. Series points still obtainable in this round, but they've taken so much damage here. Rob's down to 40, Chris J at 10. They have no utility. They know Tessus usually plays Rampram alone, and that will be the case, well, actually with MSL on the orb. This is the shot, might have to fall back of this one. Goes for a second repeat, flashing off now. And Chris J, remember, he's down ready and waiting.
Yeah, once things get awkward, they might have forgotten about Chris J, and it doesn't mean Tessus can't go for a mad multi-kill. MSL tucked in, will be pushed by Woxic, and that gives him an AWP. Drops the CZ, only gets him the 1 before Cajun B arrives. So now, Woxic and Cajun. With 30 seconds left, Woxic's made the right decision. He'll try and play this from the top site. Whether or not Cajun can get there in time, though, Vents is his best bet, and he's got himself right there early. He can do the reactive push. Regardless, though, that bomb goes down. So does Woxic to join his pistol. He hasn't picked it up. I assume he's going to grab that.
Well, Cajun's got at the vents now. He hears the bomb being planted, and the 1v1 begins. He goes towards Squeaky Door. Woxic is aware of the presence potentially towards his top position, and will Cajun come out on top? He absolutely will. They've still got a chance in this one. These rounds are dangerously close, but still managing to win them out. That's the most important fact.
That's 2 1v1s off the back of 2 half buys from Mousesports. Comes down all the way. They keep Optic honest. It couldn't be more honest than that with round win still on the board. Cajun with a 1 versus 2 to keep Optic Gaming fighting here on Nuke. Huge work from him. We talked about his impact for his team, and he's reminding us here on the CT side.
You're absolutely right about keeping them honest there. If they just win one of these rounds now, the money will be absolutely ruined on the Optic side. They have to keep this out. They need some clean victories now. In terms of the individual fragging, his Mousesports have looked much more impressive, but Optic are holding on to their CT forces. It's currently 5-2 in their favor after losing the pistol.
Smoke start to land. And there isn't a team behind the guys of those smokes. Instead, just the one man. It was frozen. Past tense. Nico's made sure of that. Great hold from Main now. Main body of the assault. Starts to poke and prod at MSL and Tessus, both of them choosing to back up. Not interested in that brawl. They can't plant in ramp room, as a smart man once said. I believe his name was Mr. Greer.
Yeah, it's fine to give it up. It is a portal to both bomb sites, but it's fine just to let it slip by. And Nico, he's holding as strong as he possibly can here. That's from the main entrance once again, but they do know he's there and potentially flash to this point. MSL will thumb through. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 now. AWP delivering on all fronts, and he does drop down. Did Chris J hear him? I think he did. Can make this a 1v1 potentially. Damage inflicted. Good follow-up grenade.
Dunk. Not enough. And he will descend.
And the Famous is going to follow behind him in the vents here.
Oh, he tucks into the corner as well, so Decon can't spray him. However, that door works perfectly for Tessus. Another must-win for Optic, and they passed with flying colors. 2 still standing, though. It's not like that bank you were hoping they'd build up is going to be nurtured too much, but a round win's a round win. That's 9th then for Optic.
Another plan coming through. Loss bonus racking up now on the Mousesports side. They will have another buy available, all averaging about $4,200. Optic, though, starting to show some tenacity. 4 rounds in a row. So many close encounters, that's for sure. MSL managing to keep the dream alive there, the AWP. Nade could have taken him out, but starting to believe now. CZ for Frozen. Opts for the utility instead, so just an outside play.
Initial Molotov, stop any fast top takes, and does look like that gap will be left again thanks to Nico. And he can exploit it. Perfect work. Times the Molotov to perfection to make the smoke awkward. Oh, Tessus wanted to make more out of that one. Fortunately, MSL will pick up the slack, at least just the first. Chris J's gone. Woxic now has access to ramp room. He has the bomb as well, but he doesn't have his teammate with him. Lobby for Carrigan. He's above Woxic at this point in time. And Carrigan from outside will be left alone.
Optic are doing it. Maximum loss bonus next round, no plant. It'll be another partial buy for Mousesports after this one. Unless Carrigan can somehow recover the bomb and plant, which is looking very unlikely.
It depends on Nico here.
He's got a prime position. There's no way he doesn't get this kill. We have a double digits now. Bit of doubt creeping into the minds of Mousesports, especially with this partial buy coming forward. The Eagles and Armor once again, probably. Unable to find that series point. Starting to drop off after losing that second round force fight. That would have been the GG. Went for a fast outside play. Didn't work out for them. The shotgun completely destroyed them and lower. And there it is, the Eagles and Scout. A few smokes.
They got close with buys like this before, Henry. Down to 2 1v1s. With a similar set of weapons and armor. Mousesports might be kicking themselves if Optic continues to close this gap. Oh, warning shot. Fortunately, the box preserves majority of Tessus fighting and staying power. Possible shot for Woxic just ahead, behind the stairs. Shown by Nico, and so he can profit from it, and so can Optic Gaming. Just the one constellation for Rops, but the round is most certainly confirmed with no HP to show. Frozen can't have much of a go at that one, and so then 14-11.
Absolutely true.
2 rounds from Mousesports on their T side so far.
Yeah, starting to look a little bit underwhelming on the Mousesports side. Had some close encounters, but unable to make a real dent as they enter another gun round here. Round 26, Optic can still win this in regulation, remember, and it's looking quite likely considering their performances here in the gun round so far. And that pick as their CT side that let them down yesterday, but looking much better today. CORSAIR looking towards that main entrance. Rops will open things up. It's their pounce towards up, trying to pick up that pace now. It's a great opening advantage. Config will burn as well. Is this series point? Looks like it will be. MSL somehow wins out with the Deagle. Not for long though. Nico, underwhelming so far. That had to be a quick kill to stand a chance, and now they know exactly where he is. HE, decent damage. Has to make noise though.
Okay.
They still have a smoke available.
He has a flash. He will push on it. Doesn't quite get the timing right. CORSAIR, he had time to adjust his aim, position himself accordingly. That puts 15 on the board for Mousesports. Optic Gaming are now 1 round away from falling and being eliminated here in Malmö. 4 in a row necessary from them.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one to kick things off as well. Cajun, Deagle, Config, same weapon. Couple of rifles, a tactical timeout. And this is a prime chance for Mousesports to close things out right here, right now. Tactical called by Carrigan. He does not want to fall at this point. This is a prime opportunity.
Listen up and listen close. This is how we close. Radiant actually the one on the microphone. He just wants everyone to be on the same page here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He got a lot of credit as well. I keep referencing that interview just because it's the freshest word we've heard from Mousesports and in particular from Frozen, saying that a lot of Radiant actually in their previous games has just been to calm them down. Highly emotional team.
Yeah, you can tell they are, especially the likes of Vox, a very passionate player for sure. You can see he punishes himself when he doesn't have great performance. You can see how frustrated he gets sometimes, but more often than not, he's playing lights out. 22 frags to his name. 5 players towards the lobby, nothing outside at all. Maybe just a fast ramp push by the looks of things. Testas, we know, plays there alone. He'll drop the flashbang, gets the opening frag. Perfect ramp hold so far.
Yeah, and he can back away safely. That's exactly what he needed to do. At such a crucial moment of the game as well, he's tested. And for now, it's all greening. Next question. To be asked by Mousesports, likely to be outside. At least CORSAIR investigating any aggressive CT maneuvers. It's to be traded by Rops, but there won't be anyone there to receive. So some 60 seconds on the clock, and outside smoke going to be thrown. Whether or not they commit off that remains to be seen. Does seem like they are holding W. No Molotov from Nico this time. Doesn't have any utility, really. Slow them down. Hear them, and the timing could not have been better. Rops choosing to pause right in the crosshairs of Nico. This round looks as good as over, unless MSL gets caught, and now there's a way in. There's Deagles in play as well, Henry. 30 seconds. Testas, he started this round phenomenally, but he has to do more.
Yeah, he absolutely does. Cajun B rotating in. Is he behind them at ramp? He might be at this stage. Looks like a clean round for Optic, to be honest. Cajun B might confirm things here. 15 seconds remain. They checked it towards the end, but it all starts to fall apart here. But the bomb will be planted by the looks of things. 3 on 2, looking to close things out here. Nico towards Decon. Smokes down, flashes deployed. That will be the cue to go on the CT side. Could the all be enough?
Does find the first, but this is going to be a very hard shot to hit. Takes the head off Config. That was all he could see. Another opportunity. It's going to be so hard. Cajun again saves Optic. How many times does he have to do it?
Ridiculous.
Keeps Optic in the game. Rops with a phenomenal connection onto Config, but the third just proved very, very, very difficult for Cajun B. The poor guy, the poor soul.
Yes, the stress must be quite phenomenal on that side.
You just suddenly have to realize that if I don't make this shot, my team's eliminated from the tournament. He's had a couple of them, or at least in a step in that direction, not necessarily just staring down the barrel of 15. Let's look at that again.
Oh, that was a real chance to close things out. Fantastic work from Cajun with the Deagle. That's all he had to work with there.
He got 2, didn't he? He got that one fast down the ramp as well, onto CORSAIR. And Optic Gaming, they weather the storm. Mousesports, they called a timeout. They knew that was going to be their best shot. Now the buy will be better, and not for them.
Yeah, I don't think the fast-paced play is the answer here. Rushing towards the ramp. Testas open things up. Like I said, perfect hold from him. They had a massive advantage there. They had that before as well. It's always when they think they have the advantage, they go for faster play, lose the first pick, and then can't stick the landing. But they do have a decent buy here with 4 Kriegs, the AWP. Can't say the same for Optic, who come in hamstrung once again. FAMAS's MP9s. Another advantage from Mousesports here overall.
From Nico, and that's an early first blood. MSL immediately responds. Had his eyes trained on Carrigan, who just poked his head up for an investigation, and he got more than he bargained for. Molotov does nothing to stop MSL from his responsibilities outside. A smoke towards Secret's quite indicative of what MSL has to do, and Frozen Court.
Yeah, they're just starting to crumble a little bit here on the T side. They get that opening pick and then start challenging dry with no smokes deployed, and they know MSL had the AWP in that position. Bombs to be planted though. Chris J snuck it down.
Tessus, he's got so many responsibilities. For a smoke to play around for Chris. Rops finds a 3v3. Could this really be the round? He's got a great angle above that smoke to find Tessus, and it's enough with the FAMAS. Voxic still on the top site. If he stops MSL from going down though, he's going to have... Oh no, MSL's played this perfectly. Now he can punish him. He hears the steps. And he's ready to punish. Oh no, he's missed the no-scope. It's so awkward in vents. And that should be another for Optic. My goodness, do they have the kit? Cajun's got it.
Well then, this is looking a little bit worrying for Mousesports. They're making some interesting decisions to get the advantages, and then they seem to just go into a very solo mentality, everyone challenging, and it was unlucky for Voxy. They're going through the smoke. MSL did miss the initial no-scope as well. This is the peak that really secured the round for them. He comes down and he misses the shot. Imagine if Voxic hits that.
Oh, he would have been so mad. Pulling his hair out, no doubt. But instead, it will be 15-13. Closing in on the Optic comeback. They have managed to find themselves 10 rounds here on the CT side. A little smattering of Mousesports. A sprinkling. The pistol. The fourth. And a whole lot later, did they only find the one? This will be their last chance as well for Mousesports, at least with the full buy loss bonus. It's third stage. Should they concede? It's party time. Looking to tighten things up a bit here, Mousesports. Their T side has shown some cracks.
Yeah, indeed. You can see them mentally moving themselves from the game, but here's Frozen for that quick pick, and again, a solo play. Doesn't yield a frag, but there's a trade now. Config looking strong on the upper bomb site as they continue to frag out here, but Config's lock things down 3-on-1, another successful one. That fast play does lead them to a 1-versus-1 somehow. Voxic having to deliver once again up against MSL. They have a classic battle at this point. They met each other in the vents before. Voxic this time with the AK in hand, and MSL. Will he read it? Oh, there it is. A wonderful finish, and we will see Mousesports close things out. It was looking like they were really starting to struggle on the T side there. They took, what, 3 tactical timeouts in a row. They did have the game in the palm of their hand, but regardless, they are through to the playoffs now. It's going to be a great job. Lovely stuff, and we'll see Mousesports continue. I beg your pardon, not through the playoffs, are they?
Yeah, well, they'll be playing against Liquid and Greyhound, the winner of that. I'm actually going to double-check the scoreline.
That's what I wasn't sure.
That one, oh my goodness.
Did Greyhound win? It's
Greyhound just knocked Liquid out of DreamHack Masters.
What's happened?
EG gone, Liquid gone, Mousesports sweating.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Greyhound Gaming, a team that have made a degree of impact already this year. The analysts are going to explain all of it. I'm sure they've had both streams open and will explain exactly what's going on here at day 3.
Oh my God.
That was our phase 2, I think, Trace.
I'm not entirely sure how to feel in this moment.
What day is it?
I think it's Thursday.
Okay.
The
time is?
It's October. Look at the time. It's a little after 2.
And this is the post-mortem.
And this is DOA. DOA of Liquid. And they're not even going to be the only ones. It'll be Optic that have been classified DOA as well. So, dead on arrival. Done.
I guess Optic was expected, right? But Liquid going out to Greyhound 2-0 in the fashion they did as well. I think Greyhound were the better team in that one. We had an eye on it as well, and Greyhound seemed to be in the driver's seat for the majority of that game. I don't know what the hell is going on with Team Liquid?
I do.
What is it?
But I don't think we have time to talk about it, do we?
Not yet. We will
Okay,
dive into that.
okay.
We got to talk about the match at hand. I mean, it was Mousesports Optic that you were watching at home. And you know what? We do have someone from Mousesports standing by with Frankie. I believe it's Frozen.
It is, and after you got a 1.53 rating on Mirage Frozen, I had to talk to you because slow start to the tournament, and you yourself said in an interview with HRTV that you felt like it was your fault that the team lost their opening best of one on Inferno against NIP. So how did you mentally reset for that one?
I mean, I just knew it was one of those days when you're just unlucky, and I mean, kind of everything you do is just not working. I couldn't kill anybody, so I just kept telling myself that it was just unlucky day, and next day gonna be better, and here I am now.
And on Mirage, it just looked like you could turn every disadvantage around in your favor. All of you individually and clearly working together, communicating so well as a team. What actually happens when crisis hits and you're a few men down?
I mean, we knew almost every round what they're gonna do on Mirage, so they didn't really surprise us. We knew like they throw that smoke, they're gonna go there. So, I mean, we were ready for everything. Of course, I had some insane rounds there. We were like 5v3 or something, and I killed just 3 through smoke or something. It's just lucky then, but yeah, it worked.
It did look like we might face a similar situation as we saw on training at Evil Geniuses yesterday when it went to overtime and you really had to pull through. How did you stop that happening again on Nuke against Optic?
I mean, there was like 10 rounds. They still had like 1 or 2, and they had like really low money, so we just kept playing like we did. And yeah, it went really slow. I mean, the last round we won with Osgur's 1v3 clutch. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, we should just calm down next time, and they wouldn't take so much rounds, I would say.
I don't want you to calm down, though. I'm enjoying those war cries when you denied the conversion after that pistol to start off, Nuke. That must have felt pretty good to have people like Voxic and Carrigan hyping you up.
Yeah, I mean, it's great just to have these players around me.
Absolutely, you're learning so much from them. It feels like, though, Carrigan, I was chatting to him when we went bowling the other day. I beat him, by the way. If you've not seen the video, it's on the DreamHack YouTube, and I want you all to see it because I never win anything. He said that you basically are a 17-year-old guy with the brain and the head of a 25-year-old. You're an old soul, is that right?
I mean, it's not the first time I hear this, but I don't know. I mean, people can say. I'm not gonna say I'm above my age, like mentally, but I don't know. I'm just being myself, that's it.
And Greyhound Gaming next, you were surprised by that result?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were winning 12-3, and we were 16-13, and I mean, it's definitely better than play Liquid, I would say.
So do you almost feel like you're through to the arena? Are you feeling confident that you're going to beat the Hounds down later?
I mean, definitely, yeah.
Well, we love to see it. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Frozen. It's great to see you performing so well on the server. And some men who are performing extremely well on the desk. Well, that's Stunner and the boys, so let's head back to them.
Thank you very much, Franker Z. Now we have to catch up with what exactly he said. Let's go ahead and kind of break that down, Chad. What did you take from it?
I don't know about the confidence in the end being an old soul.
I like that.
You like it, yeah,
Old
of
soul
course.
stuff or more like confidence?
Well, no, the confidence is good because obviously they should be the favorite going up against Greyhound, but if you're an old soul like me who's been an 80-year-old man since he was 15, you would sit there and be a little bit more hesitant with that one right there. But look, obviously, map number 2, the first half was fantastic. I love the wall that they put up. I loved when they got the Kriegs in their hands. I just want to point out this stat line. I tweeted out. In the first half, there were 91 kills. There were 22 Krieg kills in that first half, all of which came from the CT side, which means, for those of you who can't actually work basic things out, all the Kriegs that were picked up from Optic, they didn't get a single kill on their T side with the Kriegs they purchased. They were picked up by the CTs. Rops used it proficiently. Frozen was using it proficiently. Chris J's using it for 4Ks. They were using it to absolutely beast mode. And I just want to point out here that I think the Krieg on a map like Nuke or a map like Train can be used so well on the CT side because of the more passive angles that you can take, and it nullifies the fact that, hey, the Aug's been a little bit nerfed, and you can take Jules versus the AKs much more proficiently.
Speaking of efficient, what we're going to do now is something a little bit different. Usually we've had these sort of the losing aspect where we've been able to dive into, but right now we have one man from the Netherlands that are going to be joining us. His name is Christopher J, or just Chris J for short. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
So right off the top, I mean, going into Optic today, what did you have in your back pocket?
I mean, we've played against Optic a couple of times now, like in qualifiers and stuff online, and I think we've always beaten them. We feel good playing against them. I think Kerrigan has and our coach have like a pretty good read on what they like to do, so we always feel like really prepared.
Chris, I wanted to hear some things from the horse's mouth, basically. The Krieg, the SG there, you guys were absolutely destroying with it on your CT side there. What do you feel that that's the most powerful rifle right now, especially on maps like Nuke and Train, etc.?
For sure. Every time I can take a Krieg, I will take it. I think I prefer it to the AWP as well. It's just way more versatile. It's more accurate on long range, and with the high fire rate and high damage, it's also like super good close range. So there's like no negatives to having this weapon. Yeah. Except for like the movement speed, but I think like on the CT side, obviously that doesn't matter so much.
Exactly, that's going to be good for my debate with Jacob later in the green room. I have another question for you as well. On that T side there, obviously you were pummeling them. It looked like you guys were running away with it. Yeah. From your perspective, I'm sure you guys will break it down, but from where I was standing, it looked like you guys were starting to rush it. Do you have a similar feeling with that T half?
I think so. Like recently, and I think it was Budapest at the V4 esports tournament, we also had like a similar Nuke game where we had like a good CT side, and we somehow don't close on the T side. We lose like 1-on-1s or 2-on-2s, and at some point we feel like we should win already, and then we start to maybe not do every step as properly as we should do, and yeah, it's like kind of rushed. Like we're giving them chances, but not taking it too serious anymore. I mean, obviously they're doing also good stuff, so if we don't play our best, they're gonna capitalize.
Talking big picture stuff, Chris, you're now facing Greyhound in the qualifier match for the playoff. That's going to be a game that I assume you guys feel you're the favorites coming into. What would be a satisfying result for you guys here at DreamHack Masters? Are we talking final, is semi-final enough, or is playoff just making it?
I mean, I think at the start we would say we would like reach at least semi-finals. Yeah, we made it really hard on ourselves by losing the first best of one, obviously, but we're fighting back now in the lower bracket, so I don't know, we're taking just game by game now. I mean, obviously, as you said, we feel like we're the favorites against Greyhound, but when they beat Liquid, I mean, whatever state Liquid is in right now, obviously Greyhound must be doing something good as well, so we're going to take that match serious, but yeah, we feel like we should make it now to the playoffs at least.
Which is kind of how I wanted to kind of end this interview, is ask you about the state of Liquid. I mean, they're no longer a factor in this tournament, but what are you seeing from the outside looking in?
I mean, this tournament, you obviously cannot say anything. I mean, I just came back from New York. I think all the teams that came back from New York are not playing at their best. We played against EG, we managed to beat them, and I just noticed that they were not playing at a top level. I feel like they're a team that's really big on the players as well, stepping up individually. And when you're like kind of jet lagged and stuff, it's just way harder. And I guess Liquid is similar in that sense. I mean, they also have really good individual players, and you just need to be there on the server 100% to actually play your best game. And this is just really hard with travel schedules like that. Yeah, totally understood, man. Hey, I'm going to let you go, but first of all, who do you have, Astralis or Vitality? Astralis still. Jet lagged or not, they're going to win. Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Chris J. Bye, thank you. Okay, guys, so we pretty much got that in perspective. The Krieg is the God weapon. That's God J. Anything else that we need to discuss? The Liquid stuff. I wouldn't mind diving into that if we're allowed to. I know we have this on the screen, but this is done. The Liquid stuff, right? Chris, they're talking about them being so many stars and needing to show up. Look, we can attribute a little bit to this travel, but Liquid have been on, not a decline, but it's been a little bit rocky for some time. And their results of the major, all these things are building into them. You have to look at what they did earlier in the year. They were event to event to event, winning. Astralis wasn't there. Sure, that's fine. You can talk about that. That's a whole different discussion. But this team here, when they came together, the question mark was, okay, Zeus is gone. He was the emotional rock of this team with Taco, the two of them, right? They were bringing the fire. They were bringing the kind of camaraderie of the team. Well, since Stewie's come in, he's had to take that role single-handedly, right? I don't know what the dynamic is like in terms of how they socialize and stuff now, but Stewie is the most important person in that Liquid roster in my mind. And I don't mean by kills, right? You guys are sitting there looking at stats and going, oh, you know, he's not doing that. It's not that. I think that Liquid right now, because Stewie, for his age, has had to take on so much responsibility as an individual. Okay. They need someone else in the team. I don't know if it's Joker Steve, the coach. I don't know if they need to get Adren involved somehow. I don't know if they need to go to family therapy. But they need to sit down as a team and just squash it, because they can be the best team in the world. Sure. They can be making competitive Counter-Strike right now. And I just think they all need to own what their roles are in this team as they move forward. Yeah, and Jacob, I'm getting this sort of like negative aura around you right now in this moment. You have something negative to say about Liquid.
Nah, I think it's always going to be a mental issue for them, right? I think you're learning to some of it as well. Stewie2K is the only guy right now who's fired up. When you look at Aikman, for example, there was this famous clip from him sitting behind them and yawning during New York, right? Where he wasn't really trying to fire them up when needed to be so. I think he offers a lot in terms of tactics, you know, strats, preparing, all that kind of stuff, which is very valuable as well. But when you look towards Zeus, what they had before, he was more like the fired up guy, right? He was the guy trying to motivate him, trying to put some energy inside these guys. And for Liquid, I've again, sorry to say this, I've played with them before. I know how it works when they are feeling good, when they are, you know, on top mentally, when they feel they're going to win. They're going to win, they're going to be the best in the world, without a doubt. But whenever they are down, whenever they're not really feeling it, it becomes sort of like their own, you know, evil
worst
circle
enemy.
here, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem for them. They need some mental help. They need somebody to basically hit them in the face and tell them, get your shit together.
So they are their own worst enemy. They are their own kryptonite. That's what we're going to leave it on right there. It's a very important matchup is upon us. Astralis versus Vitality.
Yeah, we're ready for Astralis.